Test 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna have to pause my music for this, don't I? Is that the pause button? No, that's Siri. I don't want Siri. No. Let's do. No, that's not what I want. How do I pause? Was like that? Okay, that's easy. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is me trying out stuff. Most likely my very first YouTube video ever. So we are testing a lot of things. We're testing camera setup, testing microphone, and all those things. And in the meantime, I'm gonna try and enjoy some beautiful Belgium scenery on this amazing fall Sunday, where it is, wow, still 18 degrees. Ooh, that's a sharp corner. Whee! Okay, we're good. Got a small route planned in Kalimoto. I think it's 150 kilometers. Not sure if I'm gonna do it fully. It's also not necessary. But yeah, I've been wanting to do this for a while now, and here we are. Wait, did that just lead me to like... I am confused. I am confused. I know these parts a little bit, but not much. I think that guy's gonna have to follow him. Kawasaki versus... Actually, not that bad of a color, to be honest. Orange. So I started my motorcycle journey. It might be fun to start with that 4 years ago. Was it 4 years ago? So 2 to 4 years ago, not sure. After some big life changes, where I thought, well, this has been a thing that oh crap, I had to turn in here. Well, so I decided to do it. So I booked 12 hours of classes and decided to go and do that, and I did it in like in the fall. I think it was like the middle of October when I started booking this, and I had some classes in October and in mid-November. So that would mean here in Belgium you immediately do your exam. You have 2 exams to do. One is like on a private field where you have to do all these type of figure eights, stopping, braking, shifting into second, and all those things. And then you have the second exam, which is a road exam, where you just see how is your road presence and all those things, yeah, like that. No. So yeah, I did the theory first, passed for that, and then we started with the classes in the middle of fall. And I must say, it didn't start well. I was very excited for the classes, that wasn't it, but my god, you have to learn so much in like 12 hours. It has to go fast. You also have no way to practice at home because, well, you don't have a motorcycle, you're not allowed to drive any, that's why we're doing this. And yeah, I just got extremely nervous. It didn't go well. I remember like getting to the first class, it was all good. Explanation, what is the bike, where is the shifting, this and that, how does it work, and all that. Okay, and then you start with like doing slalom, I don't know how to, like this, between cones. And then you have to also do figure eights, which is one of, in my opinion, the hardest things to do. Even though the bike that I did it on was pretty easy to do it on, it was an MT-07, if I recall well. But no, that just didn't work to the left and, well, to the cones that you have to do, like you have to pinpoint, like look before, like you have to do in a corner, you have to look where you're going, and that I just didn't do. So I constantly kept falling over or tripping or driving outside of the circle, and it was really frustrating. And that was basically my first class. We couldn't advance until I got that well, but I never did. Second class, remember, it was this very grey and rainy fall morning, and yeah, came to the class, private field. There was 2 other people driving. They were really well, and we had all the same instructor. And so yeah, we started again, and just the figure eights, I kept failing. It was really demotivating. And then my teacher was like, look guy, if you don't speed this up and get better, I don't think this is something for you. And I think just, yeah, this is not gonna go well, my man. And that just hit me so hard, and I got really demotivated. I remember coming home and just calling the school and being like, yeah, due to financial reasons, I can't do this anymore, so you can cancel all the classes, and I buried that dream. Just demotivated, being like, this is not for me. I'm never gonna be able to do this. Ooh, Spooky Bridge, Spooky Bridge. Spooky Bridge. Right. So yeah. So where were we in the story? Yeah, so I failed. I quit, gave it up, buried the dream for over a year. I'd be like, nope, motorcycling, not for me. I don't want to, not gonna do this. Okay, fast forward 1 year. Got some motivation, worked a bit on myself, had some more self-esteem, and I thought, you know what, this. I want to do it, but I'm gonna do it my way. So luckily here in Belgium you're allowed to drive a 125cc motorcycle with a car license if you've gotten your license before 2011, which I do because I'm old. And yeah, I bought a 120cc Yamaha, an MT125 for like 3,800 euros. I was like, I'm gonna do it. I know a tiny bit of motorcycle. Well, I can put it in first and drive. Yeah, I remember when picking it up, I actually asked my brother to go pick it up because he has his license for many years now, and I was like, dude, can you go pick up that 125cc car for me? Okay, where do I go? Could have gone there, can go here. This is really confusing. I think what I did was very unnecessary. Okay. No cars coming from the right. Okay. So yeah, my brother picked it up with me, but he drove a Kawasaki Ninja 600 back then, and he was like, dude, this is slow, this shift's horrible, and all those things, and I was like, nope, I'm gonna learn to drive with it. And I did. I had the bike, and I basically first drove it on my private parking at the back of my apartment where I live, just to get used to it, to get to it turning and all those things. And yeah, that was fun. And then I decided I'm gonna learn to drive first, just in the country roads where there's very little traffic. It's safe for me to try and do and just get the hang of shifting, get the hang of gas turning and all those things. And yeah, after a couple of weeks practicing in the back of my yard, let's say, I decided to go on the road. Yeah, which I did. Let's just say when I left my parking lot, basically drove into the plants of the neighbors living across of me because point fixation, and I didn't turn properly, which was hilarious. Actually, I had a friend of my parents who saw that and who was like, what the fuck are you doing? And I was like, yeah, hoping not to die. So yeah, we did that. We then drove on the country roads. We learned to drive that way. I got the hang of it. I got the shifting. Had no pressure of somebody telling me how to do anything. So I learned, did my figure eights and all that. Got the shifting in hand, and I was basically capable of driving a motorcycle. Where do I go? Here. So yeah. But I always also wanted to be like, these big motorcycle adventures you see on YouTube and all those things. Where do I go? Man, these roads are weird. Oh, okay, it's a roundabout. Nope. Is this a roundabout or is it not a roundabout? Weird roads are weird. Weird roads are weird. You have to go in there. Alright. God, this bike sounds so good though. So yeah, after then learning to drive in the countryside and getting the hang of it, I actually decided I watched a lot of adventure videos from YouTubers on bigger bikes like Cheap Boots and yeah, all the bigger names. Yeah, and I wanted to do that. I wanted to go motorcycle camping. So this guy decided to go and do motorcycle camping on a 125cc motorcycle. I strapped a tent on it, had a backpack with some stuff. I was just gonna go for one night to the Ardennen here in Belgium. The Ardennes. Yeah, I'll put up some pictures here to show you the setup. And I was excited. Man, I did it. It wasn't going to take the highway because I was horrible, so it was going to take me over 4 hours to get to my destination. So yeah, we did that. I was truly enjoying it in the first half, to then realize that a 125cc doesn't have that much power, so it was struggling in the Ardennen, in the Ardennes, getting up mountains and all those things. It was just overweight as well because the thing couldn't handle on all those things. The guy go, wee! Trying to vlog here, man. Can't drive properly and vlog at the same time. I remember then like in the half of the trip I was just getting exhausted and I felt uncomfortable and my butt started to hurt and the wind was annoying because it was a naked bike. And yeah, I remember arriving on the campsite way too early, by the way, at 2 in the afternoon on a Saturday. It was just bustling with kids playing around. There was noise, and I just got overwhelmed. I was like, oh, man, I don't want to do this. This looks exhausting. So after some contemplating, I basically decided to turn back. It took me, instead of 4 hours, 5 to 6 hours to get back because I had to stop more. And yeah, I basically failed that as well a tiny bit because it was maybe a bit too quick out of my comfort zone. But yeah, basically I then just drove the 125cc for short trips. I even went to work with it a couple of times, which was fun. Then came the fact that I still had to do 2 exams, or actually get my license, which I then decided to do a year later when I felt more confident I was able to do all the beginning. So, what did I do? Summer of the year, I think there was already 2 years passing, so that summer of, I think it was 2023, I booked another 12 hours of class, and my god, that went way better, and also had a way better teacher, which makes a big difference. Yeah. So yeah, I did it. Classes went smoother, figure 8s went smoother, because I actually had control of the motorcycle, because I already knew how to drive one. We did everything. We did the figure 8s, did the speeding up to 50, taking all the corners and all those things. Mocht erbij als je wilt. No, okay. So yeah, that's what I was thinking out loud. But yeah, it is what it is. Come on. Wanted to say hi, I hit his trouble at the same time, I think. I redid the classes. It went way smoother, had a way better instructor as well, who was more patient. But I did notice that learning to drive myself on a 125cc was amazing. It helped me a lot. Okay, I'm gonna get a fine today. That was like residential zone, I was driving 70. Watch out. So yeah. Okay. So after doing the classes of 12 hours, yeah, so I immediately booked my first exam. Went to that with the incentive, well, with the mindset of like, okay, listen, you're doing this for fun. This is not a mandatory thing in life, so you'll see how it goes. During your first exam, you get 2 chances, and if you fail, you can just rebook it again. And I remember there was this one guy at the exam, this younger guy who already failed his exam 4 times, and he was nervous, man. And he came to me and he's like, oh, you really don't look nervous, and how are you gonna do this? And man, this is hard. And I was like, well, I'll see how it goes, and I'll just do what I've learned. And if I fail, yeah, I'll book it again and then practice some more. Oh, yeah, but man, I don't want to fail. This is so important. And it was like, okay. I was so glad that the guy didn't make me nervous. I tried to calm him down a bit, but that didn't really work. But yeah, so I started my exam, was at the start, to like, okay, how does the exam go? You have to basically park it backwards first, into like a parking space, on foot, then you have to hop on it, then you have to get out of it, you have to take a corner left or right, it's random. Then you have to do, I don't know what you call it in English, a slalom between cones. You have to drive like between cones and all those things. Then you have to do 2 times figure 8. And then you have to speed up to 50, take a corner, accelerate, do an evasive maneuver. You have to stop, do a emergency stop with both brakes, and your front wheel has to stop in a specific spot. Because your speed has to be all above 50. They check it with a camera. So yeah, I started. All went well, parked the bikes, had on it, did the slalom, I don't know how you call it in English, did this move. Then I went further on, did the figure eights, that went without any issues. Sped up to 50, was no problem. Take the corner, did the evasive maneuver, no problem. I forgot a part, you have to do slow part. It's like 10 meters you have to do. No, I think it's 5 meters. I'll look it up. It's 5 meters you have to do in like 10 seconds. So you have to drive like 3, 4, 5 miles per kilometer. So you're basically constantly on your bike like this, tucked in, trying to get the low speed maneuvers in it. I hated that part. That was the hardest part actually. But I was capable of doing it. And then I came to the emergency stop. I sped up, hit both brakes, stopped fully ABS engaged, which has to happen. Otherwise you weren't braking enough. Yeah, and I stopped and I was like, Muah, I did it. I passed. I was super excited. I looked at the instructor and the first thing he did was like shake his head like, no, you failed. And I was like, what? What do you mean I failed? And he said, step off your bike. And he said, look at the wheel. My wheel wasn't inside the circle. It wasn't. It was just outside of the circle. I didn't brake hard enough. Good thing is you get immediately a second chance. And I was like, okay, let's do this again. But then I was getting nervous because I had to do all the hard parts again. But lo and behold, I did it. I passed. I was super excited, man. I did it all on my own. And then you get your temporary license. So the first thing I did when I got my temporary license was immediately buy an XSR 700. I wanted a bigger bike. And my God, I love that bike. It looked so cool. The retro naked look is really a thing I love. And yeah, is this still 50 here? Yeah. So I really loved that. Oh, this is a pretty field. So yeah, it was so fun. New bike, had my temporary license, and then I rode the XSR 700 for over a year. I kept postponing to do my final exam, my street exam, because I was nervous with that. Because I was like, no, I can't ride in this way. But like, it's personally fine. But yeah, no, you can't. Your temporary license expires after a year and then you have to redo the exam. So, yeah. Where was I in my story? Yeah. So I still had to do my road exam. So I booked that. Then we were ready. I think I had my XSR for over a year. Booked my road exam right, like I think it was 2 weeks before my first exam. Would expire. So yeah. So we did that, and well, I could do that on my own bike, which was nice. So booked it for like I think it was Thursday morning. Don't remember well. And it was pouring rain. I swear to God, I couldn't see like 5 meters in front of me. I was soaking wet. It was absolutely, atrocious gravel. Ooh, this is fun. But yeah, we did it. I passed with flying colors. There was no problems. I also remember the guy following me to evaluate me stepping off his motorcycle and just wringing out his gloves, and it was just soaking wet. It was insane. Yeah, it was absolutely awful weather. But hey, look at me, I got my license, I got it, went immediately to the town hall to get it all arranged. I think in a couple of 2 weeks later, I had my full A license, so I was allowed to drive every single motorcycle. So that was June last year, by the way. thank you very much, everyone, for listening to my story. I hope it was a little bit interesting to see. Basically, never give up. If you really want something, do it your way and try and get it. I think that's just a great mentality. Hope you enjoyed the story. Hope you enjoyed the little views of our tiny country of Belgium. And yeah, hope to see you guys in hopefully in the next video. Will most likely be not for this year anymore, but yeah, hey, we'll see. Bye guys, thank you.